The thing is, am I even allowed to do the Endgame tag if I've only watched, I think, like 4 Marvel films, like, ever? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here at Triumphal Reads, and in this video, we'll be doing a tag video. I haven't done one in a while, but I'm trying to, like, start doing them on a regular-ish basis. We'll see how that goes. Pretty much every time I've tried that, it's failed-ish. Not ish, it's pretty much failed. So, I'm definitely gonna try and keep. I'm gonna like do it right here. We're gonna be doing Tag Tuesdays on Triumphal Reads. There, I should be hold me accountable if I skip them, which is probably gonna happen. But anyways, I was tagged to do the Booktube Endgame Tag by Dan over at All Booked Up. I definitely encourage you guys to check out his channel. He does a lot of really cool kind of vloggy outdoor videos, kind of like what I've done before with like my literary walks in nature and stuff. But he does like audiobook vlogs. Does a lot of like really cool woodworking with his tools and everything. I just think he's got a really kind of unique booktube channel. I encourage you guys to go check his channel out. I'll leave a link down below. And this tag was originally created by Stripped Cover Lit, which is also an awesome channel. I encourage you guys to watch Adrian and Dalton. I'll leave their link down below as well. Alright, so let's just get started. And even though there's not really Marvel questions in here, I'm definitely going to admit I've only watched a couple superhero movies, like both DC and Marvel. I've only watched like a handful of modern superhero movies, like at all. Just like not into them for whatever reason. I know it's heresy, but anyways, fortunately, there's not really any of those questions on here. So let's just get started. Question number 1: paperback or hardcover? So if I had to pick, just because I like my library to look nice-ish, I definitely would go for hardcover if I'm actually going to go out and buy the books, I guess. Like if I'm given the books or gifted the books or anything, or if it's only in paperback, I don't have any problem getting paperback. I have a lot of like I said, these shelves that you don't see have tons of paperbacks and stuff. These are just like the really nice looking shelves. This is why I filmed in front of them. I got a bunch of like pulp mass market paperbacks down there and stuff. So I don't have any problem with paperbacks. Actually, what I find more important is more of if it's like a collection of books or a series of books, I'll have like matching spines or kind of like the same theme or something. Not necessarily if they're paperback or hardcover. Like my 3 German Bastards from Scott Lynch are all different, and it just like bothers me because it's like one of my favorite series, and they're just kind of weird. But then you have other series where they're all like kind of matching. Like these Folio Societies all have the same theme, even though they're not even really a series per se. All these ones kind of dealing with similar kind of concepts. Not really the same, obviously different peoples and stuff, but it's got the same sort of format, I guess. That's what I kind of like, just, I don't know, because I do collect some books, but I do unhaul a bunch and stuff. But eventually, I guess my goal is when I have like my perfect selection of books that I like, they'll like look really cool and stuff. But if I really had to pick, yeah, I guess I will say hardcover. All right, sci-fi or fantasy? That's pretty easy. That's gonna be fantasy. Pretty much all fantasy. And then I have all my like horse heresy books down there, which is like the only sci-fi books I read like at all. So if I had to pick, it would definitely be fantasy. Though I might be willing to try like another sci-fi series or book out, maybe. All right, poetry or prose? Yeah, I mean, I like epic poetry. I definitely don't read enough poetry, but I'm gonna go with prose just because all the nonfiction I read, I don't think I've ever read a poetry form of like nonfiction history that's not like a primary source or something. So I pretty much have to go prose with that one. Number 4, Hemingway. So Ernest Hemingway or Fitzgerald. So Ernest Hemingway or F. Scott Fitzgerald. If I had to pick, I would definitely go with Ernest Hemingway. Just from, I haven't read like the entire corpus of either of them. I've read The Great Gatsby, and I've read like The Old Man and the Sea, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and there's one other Hemingway book that I liked that I had to read. I can't remember if that was for high school or college, but anyways, I'm gonna go with Hemingway. Definitely. I think F. Scott Fitzgerald, I think it's just a little too polished for me, I guess. Or at least compared to Hemingway, which is sort of like kind of like really short, punchy sort of writing style. I kind of like the symbolism and a lot of like Hemingway stuff, I guess. I don't know, just find his works that I read more interesting. Of course, I've only read The Great Gatsby by Fitzgerald, so probably don't have enough to go by just on that for Fitzgerald. But if I had to pick, I'm just gonna pick Hemingway for sure. Number 5, fiction or nonfiction. That one should be pretty easy. Definitely nonfiction. Like, all these could pretty much get stolen or burned or something, and I would think, I lost all my fantasy books. If like all my nonfiction got stolen or burned or something, I would be pretty upset. Just because, I don't know, I just love reading nonfiction. I've expanded like different genres and stuff, but especially history. History will always be like the core of my like reading, I guess. And that's what's sort of kept me reading a lot. The last couple of years is just history. Actually, even before I really got into history, I didn't really read that much, I guess. So yeah, I'm definitely picking nonfiction for that question. Number 6, Harry Potter or The Hunger Games. This is actually a pretty hard one for me. I've read Harry Potter before. I haven't read them in a long time. I got these like at a library sale. And I've never actually read The Hunger Games. I did see the first like 2 or 3 movies in The Hunger Games. But really, if I don't even know what I would pick. I guess if I really had to pick, I have, I guess, more nostalgic attachment to Harry Potter, I guess, than The Hunger Games. So that's what I'm going to go with. But I guess either, I wouldn't like feel sad having to lose like either one, I suppose. Number 7, classics or modern. Now this one's a tough one because a lot of the primary source stuff that I like to read would be considered classics, like all the actual like translated works from, like the Icelandic sagas are technically classics. I think all the ancient Greek tragedies and stuff, those would be classics. The Iliad, Herodotus, Thucydides. There's like a lot of nonfiction too that's like the ancient historians and stuff, and Xenophon and like, let's see, philosophers like Plato and Aristotle would be classics, I assume. Gilgamesh. Yeah, I don't know, but the thing is, and then I read like a lot of modern-ish nonfiction and stuff too, and like that's a lot of where my learning comes from. So that's a tough one. I think that one's actually the tough one. I guess I would weasel my way out by going with modern, because modern would have a lot of quotes from the classic text. Like all my secondary sources will quote the primary sources and stuff, so I'll at least get some classic primary source stuff in my modern works. So that's my weenie answer for that one. Number 8, reading or writing. Definitely reading. I had a website at one time, but it's just a lot of work to write like history articles and stuff, and I just didn't find it as enjoyable. I guess if I had like more time, like if I didn't have to work and stuff, maybe I would like writing a lot more, but writing just takes a lot more time, and you have to do a lot of reading, or at least when you're like writing nonfiction, you have to do a lot of reading just to write do the writing. So I definitely would just stick with reading if I had to pick one or the other. Number 9, what would you rather have? Unlimited reading time but couldn't pick the book, or 1 hour reading daily from books of your choice? I mean, technically, if you had unlimited reading, couldn't you like read every single thing ever? Yeah, but I don't think that's probably like the spirit of the question. Or 1 hour reading daily from books of your choice. For me, I probably actually would pick the 1 hour reading daily. That's kind of ish what I try to do now. So it's already kind of in line with what I do. And I think if you had unlimited reading time, so if you could like read for like 100 hours in a row without really doing anything or not counting against you or something. Or no, maybe that means just like you don't have to work and stuff. but I couldn't pick. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to just like sit and read for like a whole year, like just like fantasy works and stuff. I'd have to pick like what I want to read. Because even if I had like history, if it was like topics that I don't care about, like modern history, pretty much, it would just like wouldn't be fun for me. So I'd have to pick the books, for sure. And number 10, Adrian Fort or Dalton Gentry. Another very difficult decision. And if I have to pick, I'm just gonna go with Dalton because of the hair. You know, I like the beard, I like the hair. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna go with Dalton. So I apologize, Adrian. You guys are both cool, but you guys are forcing me to pick an answer. So I'm gonna go Dalton. All right, so there you guys have it. Those are my 10 answers to Strip Coverlet's Booktube Endgame Tag. Thanks, Dan, for tagging me in this one. Leave some comments down below about, oh, what was I going to say? Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so leave some comments and links down below if you've done this tag so I know and I can go check it out. Or if you've tagged me in something and I haven't like either responded or seen it or something, leave a comment down below as well, just so I can have like a nice backlog of tag videos to do if I actually start doing them on a regular basis. But yeah, just tell me what either answer surprised you or what your answers to some of the questions would be in the comments. I'd definitely be glad to talk to you about that. And always remember, whatever your answers would be to any of these questions, you know, fiction or non-fiction, poetry or prose, always remember, read victoriously.